Most people shopping for a new SUV focus on the sticker price. That number in the window, the monthly payment, maybe the interest rate if they're being careful. But the sticker price is not what a car cost you. Not even close. Over 10 years, the real cost of owning the wrong SUV can quietly drain tens of thousands of dollars out of your pocket through repairs you didn't see coming. Fuel bills that never stop climbing, insurance premiums that seemed fine until they weren't, and a resale value that dropped faster than you expected. The good news is this: 3 SUVs consistently beat everything else in the segment when it comes to what you actually spend over a decade. Not according to one opinion. According to CarEdge, Consumer Reports, and Kelley Blue Book, all 3 sources, all pointing to the same vehicles, and one of them has a 10-year maintenance cost so low it doesn't even look real until you compare it side by side with what other people are paying. Stay until the end, because the number 1 pick has a detail about depreciation that most dealerships will never bring up, but it might be the single most important number in this entire video. If you're the kind of owner who prioritizes a healthy bank account over a flashy badge, smash that like button. We're cutting through the marketing fluff to find the SUVs that actually pay you back in the long run. The Subaru Forester. There's a number that Subaru quietly leads the entire industry on, and most people buying a Forester have no idea it exists. 96%. That's the percentage of Subarus sold in the last 10 years that are still on the road today. Not in a junkyard, not in a mechanic's bay waiting on a major repair. Still being driven every day by the people who bought them. That number alone tells you something that no marketing campaign can fake. These vehicles last. Kelley Blue Book gave the Forester its lowest 5-year cost to own award 4 years in a row. Not twice, not 3 times, 5 consecutive years. That kind of consistency doesn't happen by accident. Standard all-wheel drive comes on every single Forester. No upgrade package. No extra cost, you just get it. For anyone living somewhere with real winters, snow, ice, wet roads that surprise you. That's not a minor detail. Competitors charge extra for AWD. Subaru builds it in from the start, which means you're not paying a premium for something that should have been standard anyway. Now here's where the Forester picture gets more honest, because this channel doesn't just celebrate vehicles, it tells you the full story. The 10-year maintenance cost on the Forester is $8,610. That's the highest of the 3 SUVs on this list. And there's a specific reason for that. The Boxer engine, that flat horizontally opposed engine Subaru uses, is brilliant engineering. It lowers the center of gravity. It improves handling, but it requires specialized labor. Not every mechanic works on it comfortably. That means slightly higher service bills over time. The CVT also needs fluid changes every 30,000 to 60,000 miles. Differential fluid service on top of that. These aren't unexpected breakdowns, they're scheduled maintenance items. But they add up in a way that Toyota and Honda's simpler powertrains don't. So the Forester is genuinely reliable. The 96% survival rate proves that. But reliability doesn't mean cheap to maintain. It means fewer surprises, not zero costs. For someone in a region where AWD is non-negotiable, and who wants a vehicle that will still be running strong in year 12, the Forester makes complete sense. You're paying a little more to maintain it, but you're also getting a vehicle that almost never quits on you. That's the trade-off. And for a lot of drivers, it's worth every dollar. The Honda CR-V has a 10-year maintenance cost of $7,636, lower than the Forester by nearly $1,000. But that's not even the most interesting part of the CR-V's ownership story. The most interesting part is what the CR-V hybrid does to your brake bills. On a regular gas-powered vehicle, brake pads wear down through friction. You stop, the pads press against the rotors, and material burns off slowly over time. Most drivers replace brake pads somewhere between 30,000 and 70,000 miles depending on how they drive. The CR-V hybrid uses regenerative braking. When you lift off the accelerator, the electric motor acts as a generator and slows the car down before the mechanical brakes ever engage. The physical brake pads barely touch. In fact, in 2026, we're seeing more brake rust than brake wear on these hybrids because the pads are used so infrequently. You might even hear a little surface noise on a damp morning, but that's just the car clearing off oxidation that wouldn't even have time to form on a gas car. Because of this, CR-V hybrid owners regularly go 100,000 miles without a brake job. Over 10 years, that's roughly $1,200 in brake service that simply doesn't happen. Money that stays in your account. And then there's insurance. The CR-V consistently carries lower insurance premiums than both the RAV4 and the Forester. Not dramatically lower, but around $15 per month less than average. That's $1,800 over 10 years. Quietly, without you doing anything at all. Add those two numbers together, brake savings and insurance savings, and the CR-V hybrid's real-world cost advantage becomes very significant. On paper, it's $7,636 in maintenance. In practice, for the hybrid owner, the effective cost is meaningfully lower once you account for what you're not spending. The powertrain itself has a 21.7% chance of needing a major repair over 10 years. That might sound high until you see what other vehicles in the segment score. The CR-V's number is lower than most of its direct competitors. Honda built this engine to be simple, accessible, and easy for any qualified mechanic to work on. You're not dependent on a specialized dealer to handle routine service. The CR-V is not trying to be exciting. It's not trying to win a styling award. What it's doing is being completely, almost boringly dependable, in a way that saves you real money across a decade of ownership. For a driver who wants low insurance, low brake costs, a hybrid powertrain that makes city driving genuinely efficient, and a repair bill that almost never becomes a disaster, the CR-V is close to a perfect match. The Toyota RAV4, $6,005. That is the average 10-year maintenance cost for the Toyota RAV4, according to CarEdge and Consumer Reports 2026 rankings. The lowest in the entire SUV segment, not the compact SUV segment, the entire SUV segment. To put that number in real terms, the Forester costs $8,610 to maintain over 10 years. The CR-V costs $7,636. The RAV4 costs $6,005. That's a $2,600 gap between the RAV4 and the Forester. That's not just a vacation. In 2026, that's enough to cover your fuel for nearly 2 full years. Over a decade, that's not a rounding error. That's real money. Why is the RAV4 so cheap to maintain? 2 reasons that feed into each other. Toyota's manufacturing philosophy has always prioritized simplicity and longevity over complexity. The RAV4's powertrain, especially in the hybrid, is not trying to be technically impressive, it's trying to last. The engineering decisions are made with a 200,000-mile lifespan in mind from the very beginning. That shows up in the repair data. And the second reason is availability. Parts for the RAV4 are everywhere. Mechanics everywhere know this vehicle. You are never in a situation where your local shop has to order a specialized component or admit they're not confident working on your engine. That competition between dealers, independent shops, everyone, keeps your service costs down. You have options. Options keep prices honest. The RAV4 hybrid adds the same regenerative braking advantage the CR-V hybrid has. Brake pads lasting 100,000 miles or more. Fuel economy around 40 miles per gallon combined. The electric motor handling, low-speed driving, stop-and-go traffic, parking lots, slow neighborhood streets, which is exactly where gas engines are least efficient and most worn. Now here's the depreciation detail that most dealerships never bring up during a sale. The RAV4 retains approximately 72% of its value after 5 years. That number is exceptional. Most vehicles depreciate far faster. What that means practically, if you paid $35,000 for a RAV4 today and needed to sell it in 5 years, you'd walk away with roughly $25,000. A vehicle with average depreciation in this segment might leave you with $18,000 or $19,000 for the same purchase price. That $6,000 to $7,000 difference is part of your total ownership cost. It's money you don't get back. The RAV4 gives most of it back. Consumer Reports has ranked the RAV4 among the most reliable vehicles on the market for years running. CarEdge data shows it's the least likely vehicle in its class to need a major repair over 10 years. That's not one source being generous. That's every major data source saying the same thing simultaneously. There's also something that doesn't show up in spreadsheets but matters enormously in real life. Peace of mind. Not wondering if the noise your engine is making is something serious. Not dreading the phone call from the shop. Not doing the math on whether a repair bill is worth it relative to what the car is worth. The RAV4 removes that mental weight almost completely. For drivers on a budget who want to stop thinking about their vehicle as a financial risk, the RAV4 is as close to a solved problem as the automotive industry has produced. It's not flashy. It doesn't need to be. It just works, year after year, for less money than almost anything else you could buy. Before you walk into a dealership, run your own numbers. Your insurance rate will vary. Your fuel costs depend on how much you drive. Your maintenance schedule depends on where you live and how you use the vehicle. The figures in this video are averages. Your real number could be better, but the pattern is clear. These 3 SUVs, the Forester, the CR-V, and the RAV4, consistently beat the rest of the segment on total cost over time. That's not marketing. That's a decade of repair records, insurance data, and resale history pointing in the same direction. Drop a comment below. Tell us which of these 3 you're currently driving, or which one you're considering and why. Someone reading that comment next week might make a better decision because of what you share. If this kind of real data-backed information is useful to you, subscribe. Every week this channel covers exactly this. Not trends, not hype, not whatever car brand is running the biggest ad campaign, just honest numbers and straight answers about which vehicles actually hold up and which ones quietly cost you more than you bargained for.